Today we will be ranking the best attractions at Epcot, along with some things you probably shouldn't be doing. And of course, we have tons of insider information on the best Epcot has to offer. And if that sounds interesting, let's jump into it. What's up, my fellow Binge travelers? Welcome back to another video. And today I'm very excited because when I was making my list of the worst and best rides at Epcot, I even surprised myself, and this is my list. And speaking of the worst ride at Epcot, let's get this list started. And unfortunately, we have to start off this list with a 1-star attraction. That being the Grand Fiesta Tour starring the 3 Caballeros. And don't get me wrong, if I'm looking for a counter service restaurant, I'm going to eat at the Mexican Pavilion. But as far as the ride goes, I feel like Disney could have made this a lot better. It's just a slow boat ride, which isn't that bad, but a 1-star attraction just because it's not that great and it could have been much better. And if you're wanting to be a farmer one day, you're totally going to disagree with me here for this spot, but I have Living with the Land as a 2-star attraction and for the number 2 spot on my list. It's pretty interesting for the first time, but I'm looking for replay value here, and for me, if you ride this ride, 2 times in a day or even 2 times in a year, you might get kind of sick of it. It's good for the first time, but as far as riding it over and over again goes, it's not the best. Next up, we have the Seas with Nemo and Friends, and personally, I do prefer the Little Mermaid attraction, which is very similar in Magic Kingdom to the Nemo attraction in Epcot, but they're both pretty good family-friendly attractions. It's kind of short, but the line is never long. It's a good way to get out of the summer heat, and if you have little kids, definitely recommend the Nemo attraction, but a 2-star ride. Next up is something I will admit that I haven't done in a very long time, and that is Turtle Talk with Crush. It had to have been at least 10 years ago since I've done Turtle Talk. As far as I can remember, it's a great attraction for the little ones. You get to meet Crush, which is so awesome. And as I said with the Nemo ride, there really shouldn't be a wait for this as long as you go in the right time. Good attraction for the little ones and a 3 stars from me. Next up is a very new attraction that I am super excited to share my thoughts on. But first, if you're enjoying the video so far, please consider giving it a like and subscribing because I really love making these videos for you guys, and by doing this, you're allowing me to follow my passions. And let's get back into the video. Okay, so the new-ish attraction at Epcot is Frozen Ever After, which of course used to be Maelstrom in the Norway Pavilion, but I actually do prefer the Frozen upgrades that Maelstrom was given. But it does follow the same track system and is pretty similar to the old version. It's nothing to write home about and nothing to complain about, which is why it gets a 3 stars from me. Next up, we have an attraction that can be pretty tough to ride for some people and has 2 distinct riding options. Number 1 is the green side and number 2 is the orange side. The green side being the tamer of the options and the orange being what it actually feels like to blast off in a rocket launch. And of course, I am talking about Mission Space here, and I usually opt for the orange option because the green side makes me feel like a little bit of a baby. I'm joking. And I would give this a 3.5 stars. And if you're wondering why I have this video playing in the background, I actually met the Tim Tracker at Epcot one day. And if you know who that is, you know how exciting that is, and I will link that video right here. Next up, we have the giant golf ball, otherwise known as Spaceship Earth, and this is as classic as Epcot attractions get. It's a great attraction, just beware, it's a little bit long, and if you go in the afternoon, the lines will be a lot shorter than if you go right when the park opens. So a little pro tip from me, but great attraction, a great classic, and a 4 stars from me. We are now entering the top 2 attractions in all of Epcot, and I am super excited for number 2, and that is Test Track. And most of you may have this number 1, but I have a very distinct reason it's at my number 2. Unfortunately, this ride breaks down a lot, and I mean a lot. Every time I have ridden this ride, it's broken down. Good news though, it's currently being refurbished, so hopefully Disney can get this fixed. And after that, it can probably be my number 1, but as of now, since it breaks so often, it has to be my number 2. And for my number 1 best attraction in all of Epcot, we have Soarin' Around the World. This is a great attraction, an attraction that I fell in love with at first sight. And right after this video goes live, I'll be posting a mind-blowing fact about this attraction over on my Instagram at DisneyDoneDaily. And that is every attraction ranked from the worst to the best, and I also ranked every attraction at every other park, so you should definitely watch those videos here, and I will see you there. Oh, and next week I'll be posting something no one has ever done before. Subscribe.